All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to our regular October board meeting this month. If everyone at this time, please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, would everyone please join me and stand for our Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Board members, it's time to approve our agenda. We do have some items to add to our agenda this evening. And I'm going to make a motion to amend our agenda by adding action item G, and this is to approve project scope and provide proceed notice to train for LES HVAC. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of adding item G to the board agenda, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And I will make a motion at this time to amend the agenda by adding action item H, and this is to approve the BG1 for Longest Elementary Kindergarten and Preschool renovation. And a second by Mr. Johar. All in favor of amending the agenda by adding action item H, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hear none. I'll make a motion now to amend the agenda by adding action item I, and this is to approve the BG1 for Muhlenberg County Middle School Field House.
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Wells. Mr. Johar. All in favor of amending the agenda and adding action item I, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And the last one, I'll make a motion to amend the agenda by adding action item J, and this is approve the BG1 for the Muhlenberg County Middle School cafeteria renovation.
Second.
Second by Ms. Bard. All in favor of adding action item J, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Are there any other additions for tonight? If not, I need a motion to approve the amended agenda. A motion by Mr. Johar.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of approving the amended agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hear none. So we will move down now to Miss Embry with her recognition.
Well, good evening, board members and you guests. I've got a very special recognition to give this evening. So as you know, we've got this big circle now. It represents within it 5 competencies, along with an image of individuals at different stages of their life. And it represents our profile of a learner. So there's a poster in every classroom across the district with this image and definitions of what each competency means. And as a district, we are going to spotlight each of those 5 competencies starting this month. So October, November, December, January, February. So this month, we're doing Engaged Citizen. Well, as one way to recognize each of those competencies, I would like to award an individual that represents the definition of that competency. So for Engaged Citizen, this individual, I'm going to define it for you, adds value to the community and purposefully pursues opportunities to make a positive impact. This individual understands and respects diverse perspectives and cultures. She seeks to understand local, national, and world issues. She understands the difference between rights, privileges, and responsibilities. And this individual acts responsibly and evaluates the impact of her interaction with others, along with actively engaging in the school community. With us tonight is Mrs. Lillian Darr, and she is a perfect example of an engaged citizen. She's made Facebook famous recently. You can look her up and find out all kinds of good stuff about her. But Lily is a junior at Muhlenberg County High School, and she's a member of the Lady Mustangs soccer team, and they recently won district championship. She is a young entrepreneur who owns a beef operation known as Cattle on 1,000 Hills, and she has worked at a local restaurant. Lily is the daughter of Todd and Cindy Darr and is the very first recipient of the Profile of a Learner Engaged Citizen Award. So if you all would join me in congratulating Lily. Have this beautiful plaque, and I want to show everyone this beautiful award. Our high school, Miss Thompson's class, created this. Isn't that beautiful? I'm so excited. So, okay, you can have it now. If you'll go over beside Miss Ward, I'm going to take your picture, okay? If I get on camera. One moment.
Oh, that's okay. I think about if it's in the board, so when I start
Okay, here we go. Oh, wait, let's do this one. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do just want to make note that she quickly went to her seat because I said, oh, did I tell you that you're going to make a speech tonight? She's like, no, wait a minute. Just kidding. So thank you, Lily, for being a wonderful example of a productive and successful citizen. And kudos to Mom and Dad for raising such a wonderful human being. I've known Lily since she's little bitty, and she's a wonderful person. So thank you.
Thank you for creating this recognition.
Yay, thank you. The Darr family, if you want to follow me out, I'll take a couple more pictures. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. All right, so we'll move down now to our treasurer's report, Eric.
That bring you the financials as of September 30th, 2024. Revenues. Beginning balance is $38.5 million. That is down about $2.8 million from last month. Monthly receipts are $2.65 million, and that's down $87,000 from last month and up $488,000 from the same period last year. SEEK is unchanged. Federal requests are up $350,000. State is down $250,000. Taxes are down $55,000. Other is down $132,000. Food service is up $12,000, and daycare is down $2,000. For a total receipts and securities of $41.1 million. The expenditures, the accounts payable is up approximately $2 million when we were to the same period last year. That is in general fund and construction for $3.27 million. The significant bills in September were preferred construction, which was for the roof of the high school and the middle school, of $1,048,430. Scotty's contracting in stone, which was the repaving of the middle school, $439,137. NK Construction is $178,112. Henson Construction, which is the renovation of the cafeteria for the middle school, $149,868. And School Specialty for $120,156. Payroll is at $3,028,029.68. This is up $133,000 versus September of '23. For total payroll and expense of about $6.3 million. Further accounts payable breakdown, variable expenses were about $2.3 million, fixed and mixed expenses were about $518,000, and utilities of $167,000. Excuse me. The ledger balance was $34.8 million. Bank balance balance of 25.3 million, outstanding checks about 1.5, and cash flows of 23.8 million. Further breakdown of that, the general funds, most notable here is 2 million, that's down 1.7, and construction is down about 1.5 million. So those large expenses for the previous month, and for this month, excuse me, for September. Extended financial picture, expect to have about 40.3 million in February of 25. Really, and then that's including the TVA. We budgeted about 6 million. If you all recall, last month we discussed that. So, are there any questions?
Are there any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Have a motion by Ms. Bard. Second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And we'll move down to payment of bills and salaries.
Thank you, Chairman Rager. In October, board bills bring $2,348,524.30. Majority of this is in general fund and debt service. This is our large debt service payment of the year, and then they all just taper off after this. But Old National Wealth Management, which is that debt service payment, is 1.123 million. Eves Insurance is 612,921, so that's all of our fleet, all of our insurances, so property, liability. Timberland Passage is 110,125. That is for the floor, the gym floor out at the middle school, which is also going to be reimbursed through insurance proceeds. And Henson Construction of $107,605.80, and that is for the cafeteria at the middle school.
Any questions on bills and salaries? If not, I need a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Gilhard. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of paying bills and salaries, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Thank you. Let's move down to public participation. You're up.
Oh, thank you. Good evening. Hello, I'm Les Orlow. I have two elementary students in the district, and I'm the cross-country coach and track coach in the district at the high school. Thanks for letting me speak again on this subject. As you know, I feel there's not enough opportunities for middle school students to participate in sports. Every sport has tryouts and cuts. The merger this year will create even less opportunity for the students to participate. Last March, in a letter, I asked if you would consider changing some things in the district when combining the school's sports programs, the middle school sports programs this year. In a previous community I lived in, they had gone through the same type of merger. The process left parents frustrated because children were kept from participating in school-sponsored activities. Not until the school district reorganized programs and changed how they funded middle school sports were the students able to become more active in school activities. One of the major changes they made was no-cut sports. They made that a priority. This enabled more students to participate in school activities, getting more involved in their community. I also grew up in a community whose school district cut middle school sports due to money issues. Not until the crime rate went up in the town did the businesses in that community start to fund the middle school sports programs again. I saw firsthand friends go to jail because there was no after-school activities. I would be lying to you if I didn't say the police in that town didn't help a young boy get sports scholarship offers. The boy was lucky enough to not to be able to be caught because he was too fast. High school sports probably saved his life. I've been a coach at the Park District level, middle school level, high school level, and college level. I've coached soccer, track, basketball, cross country. Only in basketball did we ever have to cut on our team because of lack of space or playing time. Even then, I still kept 17 athletes, which is more than most schools or teams would cut. I remember being called into the principal's office and asked about my coaching philosophy due to this. But sports is not just about winning, it's about teaching. And that's basically what I told them. I've also, my last high school that I coached at before this one, only had 1,000 students in it, less than the high school we have. But in state tournaments, they were able to place high and even win some state championships against schools 2 to 4 times their size. It had 68% student participation and students doing multiple sports due to the high activity of the middle school programs. Last spring, as the high school track coach, I had some asking me because they disagreed with my no-cut policy that I needed to cut athletes from the team. I believe in developing athletes, and they thought I should just keep the best. Going back to the basketball, 99.9% aren't going to be 7 feet tall, but when you have late developers and late bloomers and you cut them in 7th grade, those kids are sitting at home in high school watching, playing video games and maybe worse yet, stealing them. This is not good for a community, I don't think. The reason we had so many students on our team that weren't possibly up to their ability to compete well at the high school level, because most of them, well, not most of them, but we had more than 40 athletes from the high school, 7th and 8th grade, middle school, 7th and 8th graders out for the team. The 6th graders couldn't participate in the high school sports because they can't do it at the high school level, or we would have had more. Most were not able to get into meets because there's a limit of meets in this state, how many you can enter in a meet, so many of them quit after coming out. This is not good, I don't feel, for students because they want to participate and the school's not letting them. The school's telling them no. Last year, I asked administrators if we could have a middle school track and field team. I was told that after the merger this year, that may happen. I wrote many of you, or some of you, letters about the middle school interest in our track and field program at the high school level, but I didn't hear back from any of you. Well, the merger's happened now. You have many students who want to participate in school sports, but most are cut. I had an athlete come out for cross country this fall because she was cut by 2 sports already. Now, that's good for me, or good for our team, but if she wasn't persistent like most students, she'd be sitting at home right now. You just added esports to the district this fall. It has 2 coaches. The first thing they did was make cuts. 2 coaches, 8 students on the team. Now, I'm not a business person like you are, but to me, if I had $6 able to buy 8 apples from one guy or 40 apples from another, I know where I'm going to. I know where the deal's at. No-cut sports benefit more students. Therefore, I think, should be a district priority. Our students need more opportunities to participate in school sports. Our students need more no-cut sports in the district, I think. Middle school students have already shown an interest in track and field. Therefore, I believe this spring, the team should be funded. A middle school team should be funded. With so many different events within the sport, it's a perfect activity for all the students, no matter what ability, and can have a high participation rate. It's also one of the first sports that most middle schools add. It's the biggest bang for your buck as far as money goes I've seen. I feel our district sports philosophy needs to be revisited. For our students, can you please add funding, more funding towards no-cut sports? Track and field is already shown at the middle school level high interest for students, and I think that should also be added this year. Any questions? Thank you. I appreciate you listening to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move down now to our superintendent report. Our personnel actions have been given to us in place of our minutes, and I'll turn it over now to Ms. Ward.
First thing is we'll let Mr. Wells go for Muhlenberg South Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm not a Facebook guy, but when it comes to school, I do promote it within our building, just so we can get information out to folks. And so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to use Facebook as the backdrop for my presentation. What I want the board members to see here is the beautiful floor, along with the awesome staff that we've got that was supporting a pink out. We want to thank the board and all of the folks who made that happen for our building. That's the first time our floor's been updated in almost 20 years, so excited about that. We gave away a lot of tables, sold a lot of tables, and actually had to give away a lot because of the surplus. This is our theme for the year. We started themes a few years back, and the teachers love it, the kids love it, and it's grown and grown and grown. We've had several teachers go to California, and when they come back, they talk about all of the outdoor spaces. Of course, the climate in California is a little different here in Kentucky, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to, along with our theme, do some things this year with our outdoor spaces. So Ms. Sheridan and Ms. Medford approached Felix C. Martin Foundation for a grant, and this was part of their grant. It says, research shows that being outdoors not only makes you feel better emotionally, but it contributes to your physical well-being. We have a vision at our school to incorporate more outdoor learning spaces for our students and staff, and this goes along with our theme. So phase one of this grant is during the spring, we're going to have some raised beds for flowers and vegetable gardens, and we've already started getting the supplies for that. We've got a nature trail that's been cut. I want to thank Mr. Gill and his crew for helping us get that together, the mowing crew. We actually have something I'll showcase in just a minute where we went on a bear hunt. And then phase three is, along with the nature trail, we're going to have students going out and investigating the plants, the trees, and identifying them with markers, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then our goal is to do something like Greenville Elementary has done, try to create an outdoor classroom space to where folks can go outside. So that's part of the grant that we're doing. There's pictures that I want to show you, but I don't have time, so we're just going to keep scrolling through. I want to thank our FRC coordinator, Andrea Robertson, and folks in the front office staff for posting things on our social media platform. If it's on the news, it usually goes from the school news to Facebook. So if you want to find information out, what's going on at Muhlenberg South Elementary and other things that are going on in the district, for example, we've got this announcement that went out on cross country, and we have several students that participate in cross country. We've got some students that are going to be in the musical next week, and I want to thank all that are making that happen, with transportation down to teachers getting permission slip forms in, but musicals are always fun at the Martin Hall. Ms. Jones is going to be doing what you see Ms. Sherry doing right here. She is a mystery reader. We have a lot of fun things going on in the classrooms, so we're excited to have Ms. Jones at our school tomorrow. Our PTO plays a big part in our school. We had the Fall Festival. It was down a little bit this year because we had to change some things around. We did it on Thursday night due to weather. But our PTO brought in $9,000 from our Fall Festival. We promote all of these things that you're seeing right here, like the Kids Fun Run, is promoted on the news every morning, and then again we try to push it out to our folks in the community. We do a lot of things with UK Extension Office. This was an activity that was sponsored by our high school, where we invited students to be a part of the dance team and perform at a football game. We have a huge FCA at our school, and we're excited about that. We've got some outstanding sponsors. All right, this is something I want to focus on. We were trying to do something to boost our attendance on High Attendance Day, so we came up with the idea of a bear hunt. We did some brainstorming, and Ms. Burkett came up with this idea, and then our FRC coordinator took off with it. Her and her husband stayed up on the weekends at nights, getting things together to where the hunt started out in the building. The classes searched for clues. They would find bears along the way. That clue would lead them to the next clue and to the next clue. So we really built this up and wanted our kids. Did it boost attendance? I think it did a little bit. I'm not sure. Right before that, before High Attendance Day, we did our Patriot Day, and very proud of our school. Of course, a lot of the teachers we have in our buildings now, they don't remember. They weren't old enough to know what happened. They don't remember it happening on the news like we did, which is crazy. But it is a day where we teach about patriotism and what happened on that day. All right, so I could spend a lot of time here, but this is our bear hunt, and I do want to show this picture. We had a lot of folks volunteer time, materials. These are tobacco sticks. If you're not familiar with the tobacco stick, it's sharp on both ends, right? It sure is. So safety came first, and I decided, kind of an executive decision, we're going to cut the tobacco sticks off, at least on one end. And I was so proud of the kids. They were safe. We had 500 kids out there walking around with sticks. Hardly any problems. It was a good day. These binoculars, the teachers decided they wanted to do activities with the kids, so they built binoculars. And we had some squatches out there. This class found the squatch on the back of the property. There's Miss Sherrod having fun. We had a great day. I think the staff had just as much fun as the kids. Our campus is beautiful. And here you can see the mowed trail. So this was kind of a flower meadow down close to where the buses load and unload. And you wouldn't see it unless you get out into it. And you could see one of the bears down there. You know, they get excited when they find a bear. And again, I could show picture after picture after picture of the kids just having a great time with our bear hunt. Longest beat us out, but we're shooting to get longest one of these days, like all the other elementary schools are. So it was a huge success. At the end of the hunt, it led you back into the building, into our courtyard, which we're blessed to have 2 beautiful courtyards inside the walls of the building. And when they got there, we had a parent volunteer dressed up all day in a bear outfit. She was sweating. Along with kids hiking, grades 3, 4, and 5 were able to have a presentation. This is Conrad. He's from the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife program, and he comes to our school, and he came and did a presentation on hiking and outdoor survival. He talked about some of the snakes, and we actually had a parent volunteer see a huge rat snake out there. Kids couldn't find it. We went out and stomped in the weeds to make sure it was gone, but that was an excellent way to start off their hunt for the older kids. And they were very attentive during that presentation. My wife is much better at scrolling than I am. She can go through stuff fast. Just real quick, just a couple more things. Our donuts with grown-ups has become crazy, huge. I want to say 700 visitors on those 2 days. I may have the number wrong, but it's so whole family show up, and you got to make sure you got enough donuts for everybody. It used to be grandparents, and then we changed it to where folks just come with their grown-up, and I want to show some of the families here. Here we go. Here's some folks having fun. This gentleman right here, he's loving it. There's one picture, this poor lady, she was dedicated. I'm going to get out here with my grandkid to have a donut. And some other families days. I want to show the line. The line would snake through the front, all the way down by the music room and back into the gym. And people were very patient. This is one of my favorite pictures, family together. Folks were patient getting in. Just fun times. We did this at the beginning of the day, right before school started. Opened the doors, I think at 6:45, so it was an early start. All right, enough on that one. I can tell they're getting restless over here. This is an awesome activity. I just want to read, this is Miss Harvey's 5th grade math class. They've been working on finding volume of rectangular prisms using marshmallows. The students had a set of tasks that they had to complete, and using the marshmallows made it easier for them to visualize the length, width, and height of solid figures. Stay tuned for our next fun adventure building a volume zoo. The volume zoo is amazing. Y'all need to come look at it. We've got pictures posted, but you need to come see it in person. But these kids, these 5th graders, they have been so excited about doing math. And it's good for them to be able to put things in their hands and actually visualize it and touch and see how it works. So we've got kids that are, and I'm going to jump to the next one real quick. We raised about 15 grand on our chocolate bar sales. We always do well with that. I got to jump off on this one. Y'all remember Jonah Mitchell? He's one of our former students. Amazing guy. He came and talked at our FCA meeting. Here's some 4th grade students, along with our theme, making s'mores using Mother Nature and solar energy. That was a hot day, and I'm sure they tasted great. Yeah, we lost some glasses. I think that was donuts for grown-ups. Here we go. FCA provides opportunities for our students to be leaders, and with one of our morning clubs, they meet at least twice a month. This is one of our students leading. And then I want to show a picture of Jonah. Last time I saw him, he was about this size. He was running cross country. He was all over the place. He was an excellent athlete when it came to running. I want to show Jonah. I want to show this lady right here. This is one of our DHH interpreters. This is Kate Conrad. She's new to us. She's working with students who are deaf and hard of hearing at the meeting. And then our beautiful gym floor. Look at that. I'm so proud of that right now. And the kids love it. We've also made some upgrades to our cafeteria, which has been exciting for our kids. I could keep going. This is an awesome activity. 3rd grade classes were connecting with a school in the Philippines and actually spoke with a student, a 12-year-old student, Warren, who attends in the Philippines. And he's related to one of our SC monitors in the building. And you can see a picture of Warren talking to kids. I asked the kids what time of day was it when he was talking to you early in the morning, and they were able to, that was one of the questions they asked. It was nighttime in the Philippines. But you can see the kids just engaged with that. That was an awesome opportunity to get connected to someone across the world. The deadline for Make a Better Christmas is October the 31st. And we're working with our families to get that done. And some of our families struggle to meet that deadline, but we really are pushing that. We had Mr. Chip Bradford come to school. He's with the Scouts of America, and he had a 5-minute presentation. And those of you who haven't visited our school, we're like Bremen. We've got pods, and we can bring all the classes out to the middle of the pod area and have a real quick presentation. Kudos to the middle school for starting this service project. It's hard to see it on the board, but our middle school was doing a service project where they were collecting shoes, and so our 3rd graders decided to do that for our school to piggyback off that. And you can see the class is so proud of what they have done. It goes along with our profile of a learner and being an engaged citizen. It's good stuff. Kids love that. Our preschool, they do a wonderful job posting things on Facebook. If you want to check out our preschool, custodians do an outstanding job. We want to thank them on their day a few weeks ago. All right, so now we're getting into, this is more about the volume zoo, and I want to show our kids collaborating and using a tape measure How many, I remember when I was at the vocational school, we would have students that would get us as high schoolers and they would have to learn how to use a tape measure. So we're actually putting some stuff into practice here. I love that. I love that they're collaborating. What they're doing right now is they've had lessons on volume, they've decided what animal they're going to create, and now they're starting to work together to form that animal. A lot of teamwork here. Good stuff. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip it on up here to where y'all can see. Oh, I got to talk about this. We went on a limo ride. And we had staff members. I thought, I'm not going to have enough staff to do this, but staff members wanted to jump in there with the kids, so that was fun. We did that with our World's Finest Chocolate Sale.
I think you're on Facebook more than you'll admit.
I've looked at it a little bit today. There's a lot of stuff that's posted up here that gets on there that I forget that we've even done. I have to go back and check on it. But I do get excited looking at these things. This is a cool picture of our second grade class. This is Miss Burkett's class. And for 100 lessons, 100% lessons on iReady, there's a 100-100 party that they get. And so they get to celebrate with honeymoons and things like that. This girl right here, watch out, LPGA. She is ready to go. Right there, one of our little ones. That was their fall festival. Yeah, you never know what you're going to see on our Facebook page. We think this bird may have been displaced due to the storm. I don't know much about pigeons. Do y'all know any? They're tagged.
He's a DirecTV one.
And he was a friendly bird. He would almost let you pick him up. He was around the dumpsters trying to find food. Kindergartners getting ready for their field trip. Yeah, I know I'm running over guys.
This is the most Grayson Wells has talked in the 3 years I've been here.
I just finished telling Stephanie the same thing. I just finished telling
I
Stephanie.
love it. I love it.
It's good. It's good pictures.
That's right. I love it.
So you got to check out the names of these. This is Snoop Dogg the dog. And it's got their total volume. And then this is where they have spent a lot of time putting their zoo together. I can't see what that one says.
Anna the White Tiger.
Anna the White Tiger. Yeah. Look at the smiles on the kids. It's a chinchilla. And the little ones, when they walk by, the little kids, they know exactly what they are. This is a Komodo dragon. Isn't that cool? I was like, these are not just things about them. These are like works of art. That's, I don't know what the name is on that. It's too far away, but the kids are excited working together. And you can see all of these in our lobby if you want to come to our school. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Again, it's all about the adventure awaits.
Take more time.
Expedition unknown. That's kind of where we are. Y'all have any questions?
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
I appreciate your passion. Thank you.
Good job. Yep.
Awesome.
All right. So the next thing I have is instruction and assessment update.
I can't follow that.
That's all right.
I'll be short and sweet. So as you all know, and I did give you a handout to look at, just brief. As you know, KSA, our Kentucky Summative Assessment data, was released October 3rd, and the accountability system did not change. We're in year 2 of status and change, both being a part of that. We are still getting reported on colors, color ratings along with the identifiers, but now a little bit different when you look at the school report card. You're not going to see that beautiful dashboard. I did place one in your handouts, but that I created or used that. They are going with a new vendor, so when you look up the scores on the website, it is just spreadsheets and data presented in that way. But I am happy to report elementary did maintain overall. We are in the yellow. Middle school increased to yellow, so very proud of them. And high school overall, remember it is the whole district, though the high school students in the whole district are maintained with an overall in orange. But I do want you to know I will be more than happy and want to go over each of the data points with you as Commissioner Fletcher does encourage us. It's important to dig deep into the data and not just focus on the color ratings. But we do want to dig deep into that. So please let me know any questions that you have. I did include ACT scores over the last few years, and we do see an increase in our ACT scores. I will point out that that number is our juniors only in the March date. Once we include those senior scores, that score actually would bump up even more, but that is the state identified scores from March. Also, Kentucky, our kindergarten readiness, very proud of that as it moves up too as well. I was excited to share that with Vicki Yonts yesterday. Now that is not this year's, that is from the 23-24 school year. This year our Brigance data just got pulled October 15th. So, but tomorrow again, remember that this is a snapshot of one point in time. Tomorrow our admin team gets to join the iReady team, and we're going to be reviewing our data from our beginning of the year information, our diagnostic that we just took in September. So we're anxious for that, to see that comparison from last year, because that's our goal, is to see that year's worth of growth from students as we get them and how they improve through the year. So we definitely want to focus on that. And especially classroom assessments, of course, Mr. Wells just showed wonderful examples of what we get to see. Miss Orr and I spent some time in the middle school today, and just seeing the activities and the engagement. We're really focused on student engagement this year, so that's really a big portion of the picture that we want to see daily. So, thank you very much. But let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Stacey.
All right, so then now we have a construction update.
Good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Just to give you a quick ongoing project update. The Muhlenberg Longs Elementary School, we had our progress meeting. It was held this morning. Demolition's underway. Final completion should be October 28th, the end of this month. I believe all they have to do now is remove the existing slabs and footers. Then we also have the renovation, or the new addition renovation that will be occurring. We are working on the construction documents as we speak. They're underway. We're also going to add the HVAC systems to the existing gymnasium as well, so that'll go into the project. That way, when everything is done at the elementary school at Longest, everything will be completed, everybody will be out, and we'll be doing more renovations. Muhlenberg County High School kitchen and baseball field. Southern is working with the A&K contractor to get all items finished up there on site. And I'm also setting up a meeting with our civil engineer at Summit to come down and look at the grading issue where we have water standing on the first baseline from the backfield to the home plate. And then we'll come up with some solutions to try to get that fixed. If we have to come back in and regrade, then that's what we'll need to do. But we need to keep the water out of the dugout at this point. Muhlenberg County Middle School cafeteria. This Saturday, the railing company will come back in and replace a section of the railing on the stairs. Other than that, that project will be complete. If you haven't had a chance to go by and look at that, it looks totally different from where it started to where it's at now. We're really pleased with that, and I hope Principal Rager is as well. Also, too, Principal Rager got with us about the second floor classrooms, 2 classrooms on the second floor, converting into 4 classrooms instead of 2. We're going through Henson Construction to get them to give us a proposal to present to y'all, or Contessa, and for the cost and the fees for doing that. Henson Construction is also the company that did the cafeteria at the middle school. They're really good at communicating and meeting their deadlines. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
That concludes my portion.
Okay. We'll move down now to the attendance and enrollment report. Mr. Watkins.
Good afternoon, Chairman Rager and board members. Month two attendance and enrollment was September 5th through October the 2nd. Enrollment was up by 8 students to 4,223, which was good to see. Our district attendance for the month, or for month two, was 93.34%, which was down a little bit. If you remember, month one was just the first, I think, few days of school. The elementary attendance leader for the month was Central City at 95.1%, and our upper grades leader was Muhlenberg County High School at almost 93%. And that is the attendance and enrollment report for month two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll move down now to our board action items. And item A is to consider awarding bid for the Muhlenberg County Middle School field house. Mr. Lau.
Thanks, Chairman Rager, board members. So we have had our advertisement for these bids, and we had our bid meeting on October 15th here at the board. And so you have all the bids that were given to us on your bid tab sheet. And I would recommend that the board accept the most appropriate bid, being the lowest bid on that bid tab sheet.
CNC contracting.
Have we used them before on projects?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I know we don't always go with the lowest bid. I mean, is there a reason why we would choose someone? I mean, just because they're lower if we haven't used them before, when there are other bids on here that we have that we know.
Yes, good question. So I'll take it, and then Charles or Ms. Orr can jump in here. So the way I understand it is the best practice is to go with that lowest bid. And one of the reasons being that if you don't take the lowest bid, then it appears that you are hand selecting who you go, and then what you end up with is less people bidding for your projects down the road. If you had a situation where, let's say the lowest bid had been someone that we've used before and we were not pleased with, which some come to mind right now, then you would have enough reason not to go with that lowest bid, and you could defend that well enough. So I'll ask Ms. Orr or Charles if you all want to
I guess my next question would be, can we defend saying we've used a company before and had good luck and been satisfied? Is that a...
No, not necessarily. What happens is when you, like CNC, if you have to give a good reason why you don't want to use that you've used them in the past, like other contractors that we have on certain jobs, that they didn't perform well, they didn't meet deadlines, things like that. You have to give a good reason why the low bidder is not receiving the bids.
Do we have references from other work they've done, or? We do. We don't know.
I think we need
I would think we would need that at least.
even a couple of references, not many.
There are
You can smell it. Good or bad, you know.
two that I know of on here that we have used before. One, I would say, without naming names of these, I would say one we have been very pleased with. One, not so much. And then, of course, the one with the lowest bid is one that we have not used in the past.
I guess it's fear of the unknown at this point, but I mean, I personally would like to see some references of projects maybe that the lowest bidder has done. So I mean, if you all want to table this.
Yes.
I'm good with that. The only thing I would say with tabling is it will change the time frame of what that project looks like.
We approve pending
References.
good references.
Yeah, can we do that?
I mean, I would think we could absolutely do that.
Assuming we don't get negative feedback.
I mean, at least, 2 or 3 references. What would you think?
And right now, the projected time frame is a late March, April time frame for the field house to be ready.
pending. We received 3 references from that company. And a second by Mr. Johar. All in favor of approving the lowest bid with 3 references, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. We just don't want to run into something we, you know. Yeah. Projects are always okay, so item B is to consider MOA between the Muhlenberg County School District and Eastern Kentucky University. Mr. Wild.
Yeah, so this one will need signatures at the end. But this, again, is very similar to the MCC one we had earlier in the year, Western Kentucky. I think we also had a Murray State earlier in the year. Just a partnership where we have their student teachers come in and participate in our educational setting. Make a recommendation that we approve the MOA between Eastern Kentucky University and Muhlenberg County School.
A motion by Ms. Ford. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of considering the MOA between Muhlenberg County School District and Eastern Kentucky University, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Thank you. We'll move down now to item C, and that's to consider purchase of a mini excavator for the maintenance department.
Okay, so the district does currently have a backhoe, but it is old and it is in constant need of repair. I did ask Derek to find several options, and there were used ones available, but they had high hours on them, or higher than you would expect, and they were not even $10,000 less than the current price of this new, or excuse me, it was $20,000 less of the new of a new one with like 500 to 600 less hours on it. So it made more sense. Plus, this, we got warranty and that sort of option with this. So we'd like to recommend the JCB excavator at $84,000.
Do we know what kind of warranty? Maybe you may not have that.
I don't have that handy right this second.
You mentioned continually hiring out. I mean, how often is this used, or what's the cost of hiring out compared to?
The cost of hiring out, like, it's about $1,000 every time. Like when I see it come across my desk, and just I know 84 times obviously is
How
break even.
is that used?
Derek assures me that it's used more often than it would be a good purchase, I guess. Now, in terms of as often as we've used them this year, it ebbs and flows. We've had the storms, those sorts of things. Out in front here, there's a water line issue. We've got to let it dry out right now in order for them to dig a bit. So the front of the building right here has been used. We've done it like 2 to 3 times in the past year and a half. They've dug out they had to dig out the line the longest, last year. So, I mean, it's frequent, and right now we have local people that we do use, and often we try to use them when we can't get to it in a timely fashion. So, but I've seen it often enough where I'm, like, okay.
You need it when you can't get somebody else to do it.
So, and we've got, now there are some projects where we're going to hire out anyway, just because of the scope of the work that's going to be needed, and the different, like, obviously it's a smaller excavator where a backhoe wouldn't even handle it. You've got some things that we did in the past after the storm for some of our neighbors, actually, along 181 on that back with down trees and that sort of thing, where, a track hoe was needed, something much larger than what we even have available to us. So, I mean, there's those sorts of things, but if I can limit what we're hiring out in that respect, and then, that backhoe's been around for a long time, so I don't suspect we're going to be coming around again in the near future to ask you all for another excavator of this type. So, yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? I have a motion by Ms. Ford. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of approving the purchase of the mini excavator for maintenance department, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. We'll move down now now to item D. This is to consider purchase of vehicles for bus garage maintenance and technology department.
We're just throwing all the big stuff at you today, so.
Merry Christmas. Early.
Right, basically what we're asking for is a new vehicle for Kim, for the bus garage, and for maintenance and technology. Bus garage, we asked for a 1,500 crew cab, at which point the current vehicle that she has will get shuffled down. So right now, there's gonna be a lot of shuffling of vehicles after this. Our mowing crew has some of the oldest vehicles, so we're gonna cycle some of those out. But maintenance, we're asking for a 3/4 ton crew cab for Derek's use. And then technology is we're asking for a new cargo van. Currently, they have birds living in theirs, so I think they'll be appreciative of the new van. But I think these would be wise purchases, and then obviously we're going to shift vehicles around as needed to other departments.
So you said on some of them, we're getting rid of some of the ones in maintenance.
Yeah, so like some of them, we've got some 80s models Fords I've seen pulling some of the mowing crew stuff, and I know that they've got some early 90s trucks pulling them, and they've got.
Good year today.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that they got some significant miles on them.
Rust.
Yeah,
Lots of rust.
I mean, Jerry's more familiar with the 80s models, but.
Damn could fix it.
Oh, I believe he can. But I need him fixing buses more so than fixing.
Sometimes it takes a miracle worker.
Yes. I know trucks.
That's on the 2,500, that's not the diesel, is it?
No.
That's about 10,000.
Yeah, I know. I got somebody, I own one like that.
Can we get this price?
I'll get it.
What's that?
Can I get this price?
No. Kim says no.
Maybe ask nice. I don't know. They're pretty good prices for these.
Thank God it's trucks,
Yeah.
not buses.
So, and really, I mean, in all sincerity, the bus garage, we're already slim on staffing. We've got buses that need to be fixed rather than them focusing on smaller vehicles when we can be, really, I need their time focused on the buses rather than these smaller vehicles.
I make a motion.
I have a motion by Ms. Bard and a second by Mr. Johar. All in favor of considering the purchase of the 3 vehicles, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And we'll go down now to item E, and that is to consider SFCC fiscal year 25 KTS first offer of assistance.
Thank you, Chairman Rager. This is our first SFCC CATS offer, and is the amount of $44,904. And it's there's technology funds, so they need to be matched by the district, so it's basically doubling our money.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of considering the offer of assistance, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Thank you. All right, so we'll move down now to item F, and that's to consider approving the purchase of metal detectors for the Muhlenberg County Middle School and Muhlenberg County High School. Ms. Ward.
Yeah, so this, several of us sat in on a demo, a presentation of these metal detectors, kind of came after you all expressed interest in us checking into these. This company Currently, these metal detectors are portable, so they can move from place to place as needed. That's not our thought right now, but it does have that ability to do that. So this quote is for 2 units at the middle school and 2 units at the high school.
And so it'd be front door or where?
Yes and no. Like, we can't technically say like where specifically they're going to be, but they will be at locations where most, where our kids come in and they go out.
Basically, at that time, all the rest of the doors, entrances
are locked.
Will be locked. They'll only be using that as an entry level. That was my question.
Absolutely.
Mr. Carter, what are your thoughts on this?
I was kind of hesitant at first, but after I saw the presentation, the major concern that has been shared with us was bottlenecking that it could create. They showed us examples of, it's a company, I think, based out of St. Louis. They have them at the St. Louis Blues games, Cardinals games, and show traffic was moving very quickly. There wasn't really a bottleneck there, so I was encouraged after I saw the presentation, and I could see some of maybe even possibly doing some benefits with vapes as well, which is a big issue at the high school.
So that's the benefit of them being portable. You can, the other thing about these is you have to set the sensitivity number, whatever that is. So for the biggest part of it, the use of it is for really, what did they call them? Weapons of mass destruction.
Long guns.
Right. It would not necessarily pick up like a pocket knife or things, but you can set the sensitivity therein. When you talked about the vapes, like they could take it different places in the building and do random searches with these units as well.
Turn it up to 11 for those, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you get someone that it goes off, then what would be your next?
There would have to be somebody there, off to the side, a staff member that would
Take that
have
student.
walk through or something that would wind down.
So do we have wands or will we have to?
We have 3 currently at the high school.
So if it goes off, it's probable cause, is that correct?
Well, all we have to have is reasonable.
Yes, reasonable suspicion, yes, thank you.
They didn't have to have something else that was kind of encouraging. They didn't have to take any of their bags off and put that through any other device or belts or anything.
This is probably more updated than the one courthouse has.
I'm sorry?
This is probably more updated than the one courthouse has.
They're pretty slick. The only thing you have to do is, like your Chromebooks, you'll have to go around because they've got a steel hinge. But other than that,
I mean, it was a pretty seamless, they just walk through,
Will you put it right at the entrance or little, have a space for people to come in, at least have a stack?
Currently, we actually have 3 entrances where kids are coming in. And at all 3 of those entrances, we have enough space to where we can set them up, inside or just inside the building. I mean, if it was nice, we could set them up outside. But most of them, I think, in the demonstrations we saw were set up just inside the building. And, I think we can make those work.
Go ahead.
May I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me, in trouble, scold me afterwards. I would, if you decide to go this route, I would recommend 3 at the high school because of our 3 different entrances that we have. We have parent drop off in the back, we have car drivers who come in through the gym, and then we also have our bus riders who come in through the front door. So if we only had 2, we would.
And that's my fault for not
How many?
realizing, remembering
2 would work?
2, they would,
So can we
One on the
approve
main
with
door, one on the back pickup.
Bus rider entrance.
So how many at middle school will be the same? 2 for you guys and you're 1, 3?
So we could approve it with the approval for one more.
So have we talked to other schools that have used this method? Or
Yes, Marshall County actually is where I got their information from.
They've been through it.
And they, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
They know firsthand.
I'm gonna make the motion to approve the purchase, and I'm gonna have 5 instead of 4. That way we'll cover both entrances. And a second on Mr. Jumper. All in favor of approving the purchase of 5 metal detectors, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Thank you. All right, so item G. And this is approve project scope and provide proceed notice to train for the longest HVAC retrofit on him.
I'm back. Thank you, Chair Rager. This is the project for adding the HVAC to the gym that's at Longest. I have asked the engineers to come and go over the scope and the costs associated with it, just because it is a larger amount, before you all make your decision this evening. So I'm going to turn it over to Greg and Mark with Train. And you all have the documentation that they'll loan, so let's go.
My name is Greg Champ with Train. This is Mark Bagley. He and I have been doing the development of the longest at Eastfield Middle, or North Middle School gym. Essentially, at North Middle, we're starting from scratch. Currently today, you got 4 electric heaters, and you got 1 high-volume, low-speed fan for cooling that just moves air to help circulate air. Essentially, the scope today would be to add 2 25-ton package units on the roof, which requires, in one case, cutting out the roof, doing some removal of concrete structural work, all new curbs. Then we would have double wall insulated ductwork that would go into the gym. We have to remove windows and put insulated panels back in those places. And then the design of the ductwork such it kind of ties back together, so if you're like loaded or if you had an issue with 1 unit, you still get the full distribution. The electrical actually has to come all the way back from the main switchgear, which is about 400 feet on one of the units, so it's actually a pretty substantial runs to get power over these new units. That's an all-electric school, so it's not gas for these units, wasn't really an option for heating. And then it includes demo of the 4 existing electric heaters. We would leave that high-volume fan that's in there today. Ductwork gets painted black inside the gym to kind of match the gym. And that's kind of the high level, if you have any questions on any of that.
What is associated with mounting this thing on the roof? I mean, is it necessary to mount it on the roof?
It's kind of the only location that...
Can't be mounted on the ground?
No, there's not really anywhere.
At a higher level, I mean, not set right on the ground, but maybe raise it up 10 feet or something.
The only spot that, so if you go around the side of the gym, part of it's parking lot, it comes around the back is a parking lot, and then you have like the 2 wings, and I forget, it's like a multi-purpose classroom, and then the outside wing, and there's not a lot of green space in there, so you'd end up having units set on pads running ductwork up in front of windows, and then it'd be a significant duct run across that roof. So you have to externally insulate it, weatherize it, which is... Yeah, so we kind of, with the engineer that laid out the design, we worked with him pretty closely, and we all concluded that this was not only probably going to be the most economical, even though it adds structural, but it was going to be the best finished product. There's some units up there ready to be larger.
I mean, basically, what's the amount of money that it's going to cost to put this thing on the roof? I mean, what do you have to do to the roof to...
So, I mean, I don't have the exact breakout of like what the roofing number is versus the structural, because all our contractors that did it carried that, and so I didn't get breakouts of all of that, but essentially, there's a significant amount of structural work on both units. It's different for both units, because one of them, there's larger beams in that area that you can just add a couple beams to it if it works out. The other one, like I said, they wanted to remove some weight from the roof, so they wanted some of the concrete to come out, set it directly on the metal deck. And then, obviously, they're pretty sizable curves, so the roofing's, not gonna be inexpensive by no means. And then, basically, that's it with setting them up there. That's the two probably additional costs. But like I said, like Mark said, if we try to pour pads and run another 60, 70 feet of ductwork, you're gonna end up back to where you were. Yeah, it's, you're gonna lose cooling and heat through the ductwork. You're gonna have a lot more sheet metal and a lot more external insulation, and so I don't think you'd really pick anything up at all. If not, maybe lose.
But those additional costs are not included in this number, is what you're saying?
They're all in.
This is
It's all in.
everything? Okay.
Yep, that's turnkey.
Okay, thank you.
And just to add, I know it's a significant cost, and in the 10 years that I've been here, I've worked with Trane the whole time, and they haven't steered us wrong yet, and I know it's a significant cost. And it's hard to swallow. You all know, I haven't talked to all of you individually, but I do believe that this is going to be a better product that we're going to get in the end. It's also something that will be tied into our tracer ensemble, which is the scheduling, the fine tuning that I've been able to do over the course of the years, where you can adjust some setbacks, the temperatures just by, a degree here and there, and it saves, $4,000 or $5,000 a year. And so we've been able to do a lot of that with this product, so.
I'm just curious about what it was going to cost, because I remember when that school was built and the gym too, and nobody around here had air conditioning back then. So we didn't worry about how were we going to put one on there later or not.
And honestly, we've seen in the past 4 years, elementary schools jump up to $400 a square foot, and high schools jump up to maybe 600 in some cases.
Used car school, and I just had 2 air conditioners blow off it.
Yeah, it's been challenging.
Can I ask what's included in the mechanical portion? Because under miscellaneous, it's listed, but there's nothing listed under mechanical. And that's the largest amount.
Yeah, so the mechanical would be all the structural work that we talked about. So it'd be getting the crane to remove the concrete, getting all the concrete out, putting on the steel reinforcement on the bar joists, the I-beams down on the one unit. It would include the roofing number, flashing, a second crane lift for setting the curves and units, all the duct work, removal of the windows, and going back with the insulated metal panels, and painting all the duct.
Okay, so basically what you just spoke about a few minutes ago.
Yeah, basically all of that falls in that bucket.
The ductwork is a double wall insulated ductwork to prevent any condensation, so it's a little bit, when you're in a gym environment like that, open, you don't want water dripping off.
And we actually did, on the units, include a dehumidification option just for that reason, because it's a gym and we like to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, because you all remember at Old South Middle, when that thing buckled up, that was humidity that buckled that one.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
I will
Second. Ms. Wells, all in favor of approving the project scope for the HVAC at Longest, please say aye. Thank you. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Item H, and this is to approve the BG1 for longest elementary, kindergarten, and preschool renovation.
Okay, so the next three are pretty much the same thing, so I'll just hit it all at once. We've been under House Bill 678, if you all recall. That was kind of gave us the leeway to do as we saw fit. This is actually, I'm asking that we approve these BGs so we can so I can work with Scott and Charles and those guys and with our bonding agents to get some of this bonding going on these projects. So they've asked that we just go ahead and approve the BG1s instead of having to go back in the future and say, okay, we need to come back and approve these and knock them out. So this is really just more of a function of being able to do some of the bonding that we'd like to do.
Once we do this bonding, what will our bonding capacity be?
Our bonding capacity it's over 20 million right now. Now, granted, as we spend down some of our cash balance, which is, we know that's going to happen in the future, and that's the intent, and that was the plan all along. It's going to diminish that bonding capacity. However, with the scope of what we're doing, and I think what we're going to be bonding, I still think we'll probably have close to 10 million left. So, and again, like over the course of time, we're gonna, I think in 4 years, we're gonna lose a couple more bonds, so that'll build it back up. So I think we're sitting comfortably now in our capacity that we can do things if we need to.
So what's the time period for actually doing these bond amendments?
Well, I've got some not FSPK, but SFCC dollars, about 800,000, which are bonds that the state pays for. And I've talked to our bonding agent, I'm gonna apply that to the roof. That's gonna be the cleanest one, and then have a local bond sale for or try to avoid local bond sales as much as possible for the remainder of that balance of the roof. And I think since a priority 1 or 2 on the DFP, I won't have to do a local bond sale. The field house, the $2 million there, that is going to be a local bond sale because it's not on our DFP, but I think it's something that we absolutely need it just because of storage, right? We've been over that stuff, but that one's going to be a local bond sale. I've asked our Scott Noel, in conjunction with the DFP, to see where we are to make sure that what we intend to do at longest. Longest. Yeah, I was about to say North Middle, but at longest, that it is part of our priority 1 or 2, so I can not do a local bond sale for that. I don't want to do that because I don't want to use general fund dollars. I want to use our construction and FSPK funds to pay for those bond payments, which is what we do right now anyway. We barely touch any of our general fund dollars when it comes to bond payments. And we do well on that, so.
Any other questions?
Did that answer your question? Or?
Just the time period.
The time, I'm sorry. I won't do that. I apologize. I want to do the 4 million here in the next probably month or so. Probably the next board meeting. Depends on when Lincoln, who's our bonding agent with RSA, can coordinate that. And then obviously I don't have a final bid price on the renovations for longest, so I think that's probably gonna, when are you bidding that out? November, right? Yeah, right. Okay, so around Christmas, January.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Wells, second by Mr. Jolar. All in favor of approving the BG1 for longest kindergarten and preschool renovation, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And move down to item I. And this is the approval of BG1 for the Muhlenberg County Middle School Field House.
So same thing.
Have a motion by Ms. Jolar. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of approving the BG1 is item J. And this is to approve the BG1 for the Muhlenberg County Middle School cafeteria renovation. Is there any financial stuff on that?
Details on that?
It's really, the total construction cost is $329,912. So it's a minuscule one, but we wanted to get the BG approved for it. So
Is how much?
it's $329,000.
They don't have anything attached to their
That's
paper.
one that would be, so. It's 300, it's about 330,000. It was, the original bid came in at 292,000, but we made two changes. One being, we did the two change orders, if you recall. One of them was for the roof line, and we had to move the sprinkler system, and the second one was for the handrails, was it not?
These handrails.
Yeah. Which increased it to the 329.
This 400 and something on here?
Well,
This is 460.
Right, you have to include the contingency on there, which we aren't gonna get into, like,
Okay.
and then you have, and then there's the architect fees and such.
Any other questions? If not, I need a motion to approve. A motion by Ms. Bard. Second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of approving the BG1 for Muhlenberg County Middle School cafeteria renovation, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we are now down to our board consent agenda items. There are lots of things in there tonight. Approval of minutes of the prior board meeting, considering surplus of Muhlenberg South Elementary items, consider memorandum of agreement with Pennyroyal Mental Health Center, approval of shortened school day for student 1 and 2, considering fundraiser, field trip, and facilities use. Have a chance to review all of that.
Did we do the surplus at Muhlenberg South?
I'm sorry, Raj, I can't hear you.
The surplus, did it happen already?
Thanks for.
No, not these. Those are the cafeteria tables.
Just cafeteria tables and old piano.
Okay,
Yeah, that's that.
okay. I know you,
It's the other tables.
Yeah.
okay, other
Student,
tables.
yes.
Actually, these are the tables.
Any questions on the board consent agenda items? If not, I'll need a motion to approve. A motion by Mr. Bowers, second by Mr. Gilmore. All in favor of approving the board consent agenda items, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none, and I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
A motion by Ms. Ford, second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none, and we are adjourned.